Hey everyone, so in this video we're going to show you a really simple strategy that you can use with your clients experiencing persistent neck tension, particularly tension that builds secondary to an elevation of the shoulder blade, particularly during tasks that require the upper limb to manage and generate forces. So what we're going to try and do here is we're going to try and pre-position the head in a direction that facilitates more of an eccentric bias through the upper trapezius in the frontal plane. And then what we're going to do simultaneously is build the capacity of the upper limb to manage and generate forces. While building that capacity, then we're perturbing the capacity of the upper trapezius to maintain that eccentric or lengthening behavior. Okay, so you can think of this more as an indirect perturbation. So we would have ideally facilitated the range of motion in the frontal plane where we can actually get length into that tissue and actually create that range of motion. But what we're trying to do now is indirectly perturb that. So can we actually maintain that eccentric behavior through the upper trapezius as we build tension through the upper limb and reduce that tendency of the upper trapezius to contribute to the management and generation of forces. Okay, so we're going to focus on the tricep here. So again, we're going to try and build load into the upper limb via the tricep, via forearm or elbow extension, while simultaneously keeping the head side bent to the right, so we can facilitate that eccentric behavior through the upper trapezius on the left-hand side. We're going to use the wall to position the forearm on. And like I said, because we want to try and keep that shoulder blade depressed, okay, we do want the humerus to not be in a very abducted position. We want to bring it into a less abducted position so that it's much easier to keep that downward rotation or that depression of the shoulder blade as we build load into the tricep. So that becomes important because if, for example, you're below 90 degrees at the beginning, but then you walk the feet out to try and get more load into the tricep, but now by walking the feet out, now that humerus is relatively above the position of parallel, so it's going to facilitate more of an upward rotation or more of an elevation of the shoulder blade there. Okay, so we can start in this position. Depending on how much load we want to get into the tricep, we can pre-position the humerus in a relatively adducted position relative to parallel. What we're going to do then is we're going to side bend the head away. Like I said, ideally we would have developed that capacity to side bend away before we do this, because it's more of an indirect perturbation. So we have to perturb something. We have to perturb the capacity to keep that side bend away. So we can only perturb something if we already have the capacity to express that. That's a really key point. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk the feet away, make sure to keep that scapula depressed. We're going to side bend away, and what we can do as well is we can use the hand here to passively side bend the head away to facilitate that eccentric behavior through the trap. Then what we're going to do is we're going to build tension through the fist, reach the elbow away, and then begin to extend the elbow, getting load into the tricep. I'm going to slowly return, so you can see we're not moving through full range of motion with the elbow here. We're going back and forth, not coming to a dead stop with the elbow, but keeping that head side bent away. Continue the reach away with the elbow as we push. That's a really key point there. You don't want to just push away and then feel as though everything is coming up into an elevated position through the shoulder blade. So as you push into the wall via the fist, you're almost reaching the elbow away at the same time. So I'm reaching the elbow, pushing with the fist. As I drive then through here, I should feel a lot more load into the tricep, and I should feel a lot more capacity to lengthen that upper trapezius. So we're going to go through that movement up to 30 to 45 seconds, or until we feel a burning sensation in the tricep. We want to actually facilitate that capacity to experience load into the tricep while simultaneously reducing the contribution from the upper trapezius. Because like I said, it's very, very common for clients when they're generating force or managing force through the upper limbs that they may elevate the shoulder blades, which is not a bad thing, but we want them to have the capacity to manage and generate forces through the limbs on their own without needing the proximal structures through the upper trapezius to contribute to that movement.